Hello, everybody. It's Denise again, your Ascension mentor. Today is April 24th, 2019, and a lot's been going on lately, hasn't it? How are you all feeling? Are you all still being responsible for what you're feeding the heart field? That's going to determine how we affect the universes around us. And there's a lot of help out there lately, and the Ascended Masters have been working hard, and they've been giving out more information. The Arcturians, which reminds me of a dream, not a dream, but I had a QHHT session back in 2016, and I had it basically because I was trying to finish one of my books. And there was some ETs in the story, and I was trying to find some information. Well, during this QHHT session, I ended up going into a Arcturian starship. Now, I don't know if it was the Athena or not, but I remember going up to the starship, and actually what I was doing was I was Arcturian, and I was projecting down into this physical being on Earth. And I know many of us are already doing that, and there's a lot of star seeds out there. And so I ran across again David K. Miller, who does a lot of interaction. We calls it the Group of 40, and but he channels the Arcturians, and it's funny how when you're ready for some more information that's going to stick, like throwing poop on the wall. Here comes more David K. Miller information, more Arcturian information. And it's funny because I had one of his books, and I brought that book out again, and I started reading this book. And it was like reading this book from the very first time. It was so much information that I didn't really connect with the first time. And it's kind of like repetition, the mother of all learning. So I just found that really interesting because the Arcturians, here we are coming back around again. And those of you who are Arcturian starseeds, you kind of get what I'm talking about. They are considered ascended masters. Basically, any being that is higher than a 3D being is really, 5D and up is considered an ascended master. So many of us are already talking to them, and I've been talking to the Ascended Masters ever since I started doing Heart Map, and I was reconnected with them through my Heart Center, the sacred space in your Heart Center. But the other night, I have a sauna in my master bedroom, and I usually can tell when information I'm getting a download, because it's like, go in the sauna. So I went in the sauna, and sure enough, it was just some rehashing old information. And for some of us, like I said, we get this information, and at the time we're not really ready to integrate it. And then we get it again a year later or whatever, and it's like, oh, wow, yeah, I really resonate with that. And, it was all about this shift. We call it the shift, or the ascension, or climbing, the ascension up the ladder. And when you really think about it, it's what's really happening. And they're trying to tell me, reminding me again, what's really happening. And I even wrote about this in my fiction, fantasy, paranormal stories. Cheyenne was, when she was living her life as Samaya as a Lemurian, she was learning how to, rise the ladder of ascension, working her way towards becoming a high priestess. And so it was reminding me, it's like we use these words, shift and ascension and rising and all this, and we never really think about what it means. And so they're saying that, right now, what's going on with the shift? It's like, okay, let's say we work at a factory, and the shift has changed. So the group that was already there has got to leave, and a new group came in. So there's this constant coming and going, but it's like happening like going up the rung of the ladder. The first shift steps up one rung, and then the bottom shift comes up another one. So it's like this. So there's always whoever's, it's like where you're at, everybody gets to shift upward. And even though there might be some up here, these people down here still have a lot of work to do to get up here. But these people in the meantime are doing their work also. So they're always shifting upward. So it's always like this. So there's always souls out there that are at different layers, different levels. And it doesn't mean it's good or bad or I'm better because I'm up here and you're down there. That's not it. It's just we are where we're supposed to be. It's the experience and the growth we still have to do. And so they were talking about the light workers the light workers say there's many different layers of light workers. And it's, so there's maybe 5 rungs on this ladder of ascension, and you might have light workers that are on the 5th rung of that ladder. And then we have light workers that are on the 4th and the 3rd and the 2nd rung. And then we have some that are waking up to becoming a light worker, and they're just stepping on that 1st rung of the ladder. And so for every single one of us, no matter what rung of that ladder, what level we're on, we are learning what we are supposed to be learning. And everything that each and every one of us are learning is like, wow, what a ride. Don't make any difference what level you're on. We're all where we're supposed to be. And so just like in my books, Samaya and all of her colleagues, they are at a little bit higher level than some of humanity. So even though they've already gone through the shift, before, they chose to come back. One of their levels was to come back and help those come up a little bit further. So that's what they had to do. Even though they already shifted and they experienced the great shift and got into the higher dimensions, into the new world, blah, blah, blah. It was like, Frodo at the end of Lord of the Rings. He had such a fantastic journey, and it was just Frodo, and it's like, what do I do now? All the rest of this is like, been there, done that. I'm ready for something different. So he diminishes in the West with the rest of the ones that were already on the highest rung of the ladder. Now, Samwise, he was happy to stay where he was because he still had things that he wanted to experience where he was. He got married to Rosie and they had children, and those were the things that he wanted to experience. There was no judgment there. It's just where we're all at. But we all have to learn to be in the same program, and that is the heart program. The heart program is what helps us move up these ladders, these rungs of the ladder of ascension. So what they're saying is, okay, here we go. We got the shift coming, and it's happening, and we all know we're in it. So these light workers, light warriors, starseeds, whatever you want to call yourself, they've been doing their work. They've been here helping others. They've come back. They've already experienced another shift. They've come back to help this time again. So now they're ascending up into the mastery level. So, there are, like I said, there's different levels of ascended masters. Any being that is higher than 3D or starting at 5D and up is considered an ascended master. So these light workers that are up here and have done it already, they get to go up there and they get to be like the ascended masters that we all talk about on this earthly plane. The thousands and thousands and thousands of them, and even the Arcturians are, I'm sure the Pleiadians, are part of this. Some of them, so lost my train of thought there for a minute, you guys. So So what they're saying is the shift is happening now, and those who have shifted up to the top ladder and have stepped into the ascended masters, the masters, the ones that we all talk about, they are taking on that role. They are joining that collective consciousness of that group of ascended masters, and they are taking on that role. So they are helping once again those who are still working on those lower levels, just like the ascended masters are helping us. They are now taking on that role. And it's not that they're coming back in physicality like many of us have done and are doing. They have taken on the spiritual role, so anybody that channels or talks to any of them, that's who they're going to be talking to. So it's like it's a shift. We shifted up. So they just wanted to know. So this is what's going on right now. So there are many. So when you talk to the different light workers and you talk to everybody, Ascension, everybody has a different idea, and everybody's like, oh, I'm going to do this, and some of us are like, the ones that I worry about are the ones that I can't stand it here. I don't belong here. I didn't sign up for this, and I just want the hell out of here, and I want to go to my planet. Though you guys, I really worry about you because you signed up for this first. And you are a higher being than what you are here on 3D Earth, and you have to remember that. And you came here to do a job, and you need to wake up to who you really are. And you will really, really be sad when this is all said and done, and you found out that all you did was wallow in your own self-pity and sorrow. No judgment here. But you're not helping yourself. So you need to find a way out of that, because you did choose to come here and take on this very, very, very difficult job. And so you really need to climb out of that and really get busy. And it's not a matter of waiting for you to, your ship to come in and get you and take you out of here. It's like you came here to learn something. You came here to do something. And until you learn that and do that, I think you're here for a while yet, and I know some of you aren't going to like that, hearing that, but it's basically how it works. So a lot of you, really need to just kick yourself in the butt and say, I'm done with this self-pity stuff, and it is hard. You need to come and talk to my husband. And you want to talk about, he's getting ready to have his leg amputated from a botched surgery, and he builds houses, for God's sake. And I mean, and he has the biggest heart in the world. And but I mean, they've been throwing everything, including the kitchen sink, at him. And he does have his hard times, and it does reflect on me once in a while, and that's why I do heart math, to keep us both afloat. And his family members are dying right and left. It's just been a bad year, and our, like I said before, our daughter was going through cervical cancer, but she's fine today, and she's pregnant with her second child, a daughter, so she has a boy and a girl. And so, so some of you, I think, who are saying, I think I'm going to come back. I really want to come back to Gaia. I'm not ready to go on yet. I'm not ready to go to my family. I still feel like I have a mission to do. I still feel like I need to stay here. That is a good thing. That's where you're supposed to be. Remember, some of us have already done that. So you are at that stage where I'm going to stay here till the gory end, and I know there's those who are still waking up, and I want to be here for those who are waking up and really help, hands-on, boots on the ground, really help them. So that's where you're at, and that's great because you're realizing that. So nobody else can take that away from you. So if somebody else is saying, well, I'm ready to move on, I've already done that. Don't get into self-judgment about that. Like I said, we've all experienced these different growth periods, and we've all gone through these different levels. And some of us, and those of us who obtained the higher rung on the ladder, we really have to be careful how we talk to the other one. We cannot judge them for where they're at, and we are still in the position of helping them. And so if you are judging those who are, still choosing to take another path and still stick around and help, and you're judging them, it might go against you as far as, joining the light worker or joining the ascended masters. So it just means that, some of us already gone through K through 1, and some of us are needed to go, they still are in 5th grade or 6th grade. So basically that's what they want to say. It's not like we're all going to we're going to shift and we're all going to be in the same planet, or we're all going to be doing the exact same thing. We're all going to be going on to whatever it is that we have already blueprinted for ourselves to go on to. It's not that cut and dry. So that's what they just wanted to clear up with me. So, and I hope I'm becoming one of the ascended masters, because I would just love to I would love to still be able to help people, even if I'm in the spiritual, layers, not in the physicality. It would be really fun to still, and, kind of like what I'm doing yet, I'm still ready to not hang it up, guys. And then I wanted to talk a little bit about the Notre Dame and how it's been affecting everybody. And a lot of people have been talking about it. And it's really funny because so many people have been just like defeated by this fire. And, I try not to watch it. I just wasn't going to go there. I wasn't going to watch it burn. Sometimes we tend to get ourselves into overcare when stuff like this happens. And, I just think, for me, I felt it was this huge sign. And, we're still out. Some say it was the dark, the Illuminati are fighting each other right now. We heard that. And so, that was a way of, showing another fracture of the Illuminati. Ha ha, look at this, I got you. And, or, some are saying it was just a big fire ritual, and because of what's going on energetically with all of us, it just seems that no matter what they throw at us, it's not working. We just keep going up the rungs of the ladder. So this is like another big aha moment. And so what I have to say about that is, doesn't it just go to show you that they haven't been able to come up with anything new? They haven't been able to grow. They are not growing. They're freaking out because we are growing. And the fact that they still need to go into ritual magic, magic is looking outside of you, using the elements outside of you and the spirits and the deities and objects outside of you to create an outcome that you want, shows us they're really losing the race here, because they're still using ritual outside of you. They're still using outside conduits and outside energy. They're not using their own energy to make this magic happen. And so it just shows me that, they can't come up with anything new. That's why they need us. Oh, look what they did. Look what they just did. We got to do that too now, but we got to make it dark. And so what are we doing? We have put away the outside conduits. We have put away the outside tools. We're now stepping into the internal power the internal power that we have. And I've said it before, and so many who are talking like me are saying the same thing. That power comes within. It comes within the heart area. And so that is where our heart has such power and ability and intuition and all knowing and all knowledge. So by connecting with all of that, we are able to make change just by connecting with our heart and our true selves and shining out through that. Shining that out, we are being responsible for what it is we are feeding the field. We are being responsible and saying, hey, I'm not sending out any more negativity and crap and hate and judgment. I am going to be responsible. And I realize that what I do is a ripple effect, and it's affecting everyone around me. It's especially affecting this planet, because so many of these higher beings are here just for this planet. And so many of us who know, how our energy affects everything around us, we are now awaking to that, and we are now using that power that they have been trying to keep from us, that they have been so afraid, that we are finally going to wake up and go, it's right here. I don't need the wand. I don't need that Harry Potter one. I don't need my grimoires with all my spells in there anymore. I don't need to look outside and evoke other deities to do my work for me, because I can do it myself. And I work from the power of the heart and the power of love and the power of compassion, which is the highest frequencies in the universe. So I think that Notre Dame was like, it was like them going, holy crap, they're just moving upward and upward, and we just, they're like, their nails hanging on the edge of the cliff, and they're trying to really keep themselves above it, and it's not working, because we are working. Those of us who found how powerful the heart center is, and those of us who know how to utilize that, are just gaining so much power, because we are using the most powerful frequencies in the universe. So things are really escalating, moving up. And like I said, we're all at different levels. So we're all at different levels of understanding. And, wisdom comes from experience. So, we can be told how to do something, or we can read a book about how to do something. It can be in our head. But until we actually go out and do the journey and experience it and do it and integrate it, that is where the wisdom comes from. So that's all I wanted to say, guys. And like I said, if you need help on your ascension journey, or help with any other aspect of working through the heart, please feel free to contact me. And if you're in Salida area, come and do one of my day retreats and work with horses and work with your heart and have a grounded Reiki treatment and do some grounding, connecting, expressive art, and have a free lunch. So anyways, things are happening, and love to everybody, and let's get busy and really, really take responsibility for what we are feeding the field, because it is affecting all the other universes.